How do you actually set up a pit garage? Well, I thought the best people to ask is the people who are actually in there setting up pit garages. And the folk that you're about to meet, they do this in a professional environment, every one of them, where they're either racing or they are involved in track day activities or coaching activities or that type of thing. So here's some tips here around how you might go about or think about setting up your pit garage for your track day activities. What 1 or 2 tips would you give a track day rider for setting up their pit garage at the track?
Organise yourself as best you can so that when you come in off the track, it's easy to get your bike on the stand, because if you've ridden a 20-minute session and you've been going at 95% of your ability, you come in and you'll be, for the majority of people, pretty tired. And I see quite often that people have, thrown their warmers in the way when they've taken them off, or their stands are nowhere to be found, or they've got chairs and they're trying to, weave their bike in between all this stuff and then try and get the stand on it. And, for me, that's one of the most awkward moments is trying to get your bike on the stand and trying to weave it in and out of everything when you're tired. So for me, it's just being as organised as possible so that when you're going out and coming in, everything's nice and easy and simple.
Make sure that the guy next to you is your best mate so you can have a great day. It's number one. And I kind of like a little bit of peace and quiet for me. So I just go on, if I'm going to work on my riding, I like to have a little bit of downtime, sit down. I always, take a notepad with me and write down what I'm working on. Right. So find myself a nice little quiet spot, make sure I'm with a good mate. So I'm going to have a great day.
So it's not all about, the bike. It's about the rider as well, being organised and relaxed and in a position that you're happy to enjoy the day.
I guess it depends on your personality yourself, but I like to get there early and claim my space, if you like. There's nothing I find nothing worse than you've got a bit of gear when you do a track day, so nothing worse than having the guy next to you who's sort of on top of you. So you get there, and I've got a fold out table, so I put the table at the back of the pits, which then claims the width of my pit. So at least I've got the length of a fold out table. And other people then, so during the day I'll leave my helmet on there and my gloves, and when I come off track, put my esky underneath and my gear bag underneath. But put the table out, which then claims the width. And depending on the track, like if you're at Phillip Island where the garages are really nice, I don't worry about it. But if you're at Lakeside where there are bitumen mix or pot mix, then I take a bit of carpet or a mat to just makes it easier to roll your paddock stands to get your bike on.
Yeah, wow. Always wondered why that table was there. Now I know.
Yeah, stay out of my way.
Be mindful that most times in your pit garage, you're sharing the pit garage with other people, so be mindful of other people.
Yeah.
And we do get the occasional bit of conflict where one person's definitely not mindful of other people that they're sharing the garages with.
Yeah.
But you just want to make sure that you've got everything to hand. So again, for me, I like to make sure that I've got my toolbox in a certain spot with my tyre pressure gauge, my bike in a certain location, so that the tyre warmers are easy to get on and off with the power points. And then I always make sure I've got a seat. Always make sure you've got somewhere to sit.
Yeah.
Because you'd be amazed how much energy it takes to be on your feet all day.
Yeah.
And how that can affect you when you're on the bike. So I always make sure I've got like a fold-up chair or something like that.
Yeah.
And I lay it out in a way that makes it, comfortable for